Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Julian Barratt. There he is. Hi. Hi. Hello, thanks for coming. Thank you so much. I hope it's going to be okay that I'm sat here while it's on, the film. I just really like to see how you respond to the film and watch you. So as it's happening, I'll be coming amongst you and just sort of gauging your amount of enjoyment. So it's weird, isn't it? Thanks so much for coming. It's very exciting, and I hope you enjoy it. There's just the kick. The kick is it's not Photoshop. It's real. It's just karate training, and I'm a very flexible actor. It took us so long to make this film. Well, to write it and everything. It was about 10 years of writing and sort of coming back to it and doing all that. And when we first started thinking about it, we were worried we'd be too young to play the part. Well, I would be too young to play the part. But by the time we made it, I was, had to have facial surgery to look young enough. I also put on a lot of weight because I'm very method. So for about 10 years, I've been eating curries and drinking lots of quite strong lager, and just sort of to get the shape, because I knew I wanted to be like De Niro in Raging Bull, just get there. And I've kept it in case reshoots or anything needs to happen. So that's why it's still here, because I'm professional. So I hope you love it and enjoy all the great performances and things that are in there. And the main character, look out for the Isle of Man. A real character in the film, and so please watch out for him, and enjoy. And I'll see you afterwards. So thanks very much. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm gonna push this up a bit. You enjoy the film?
Hi. Oh, thanks. Lovely.
Good evening, Julian. Thank you for being here.
Should we just?
Yeah, this is a bit
Can
weird.
we do it like this?
We could lift them up like this.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Just sit back and you can hear. Can you hear?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Well, the end popped off.
This is a good start.
Okay.
So, Julian, thank you for being here.
Hello.
And
hi. Good. Thank you. Glad to be here. Pleasure.
guys, get a seat. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you. Thanks.
So it seems to be getting a very good critical response, which is brilliant.
Right, does it? Good.
I believe the reviews I've read have all been positive.
I don't read reviews.
You don't read the reviews?
No, never.
Well, I'm telling you, it's got.
I've heard they're okay, which is good to know.
Yeah, I think it's got a very good Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't want any specific.
Nothing. Okay.
I try to avoid any kind of anything about that. Yeah.
They all say you're very good.
Good. That's good.
So it's a very funny film with some brilliant one-liners, but I felt like it was quite a heartwarming film, and that your character, despite his buffoonery, was a real underdog who I really rooted for.
Yeah.
So when you and Simon first started writing it, was that the aim, that you were always going to be the main
No, initially,
star?
I'm going to be the star of this film. I don't care what you say. No, I sort of, I didn't think I wasn't necessarily going to be the main person. We just wanted to write it because it's a good idea. So we thought, but he was saying, yeah, you should be this guy. But I said, well, let's leave it open. Maybe we could get a kind of grand, person with gravitas, and like a Ben Kingsley or someone like that. You get a crazy actor like that who could play off or Ian McShane, or someone who'd actually done something a bit like. But then it just ended up being me, and
yeah. So you couldn't find anyone else, and you thought, I just should do it.
I came round to it in the end, and. But yeah, I mean, we sort of we wanted to do something like, we loved the parody aspect of it, all the sort of 80s shows that we watched a lot of, and to get inspired by, Bergerac and $6 Million Man, and
would it be fair to say Shoestring?
Shoestring,
as well?
yeah, the private ear. He was a privateer. He's a DJ detective. So that's what he was. It was the private ear. And so that was Shoestring, Trevor Reeve. And
Bristol filmed.
Oh, was that Bristol?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Local reference there.
Yeah. So we got very inspired. We were excited, thinking we'd do something which was a bit like a kind of 80s detective show. But then we realised that the idea, which was that someone rings up and asks the police, to speak to Mindhorn, and a fictional detective. We realised that meant that you could then find the actor, and then it's a story about a man rather than a sort of fictional
Character.
parody. It's more of about a man down on his luck. And I kind of suddenly thought, oh, that's actually you can have him get out of the hole that he's in and try and get redemption. And so there's a whole sort of story there. And so that made it easier to sort of launch into the writing process. Sort of, we read all those books, how to write a film and how to save a cat, all that stuff. Save a cat and Robert McKee's all these
Story
books.
and
They're
things
so
like that.
annoying, but you do read them. You have to get through that.
Yeah, in order to write the story.
Sort of. I don't know what I feel about those things. I think it's quite a lot of bollocks.
So when you and Simon started writing it, then was there kind of a clear outline and process?
Oh yeah,
or
very quickly we had a sort of outline that was about a couple of pages, 3 pages, and it was, it was people really liked it. So we knew we were onto something initially, because a lot of people were saying, "This is good,
Yeah.
good idea."
And you started writing it quite a long time ago, was it?
Yeah, the 40s.
And technology's changed since then as well.
Yeah.
So.
But we did start writing it a while ago, and we wrote quite quickly a draft, but then it just takes ages to get the everything in the right alignment.
Yeah.
Because it's a high concept sort of idea. I wouldn't advise this sort of idea as a first feature.
Yeah.
It's quite a big concept, and it's sort of an action movie, which is really expensive, and so we really should do something more low key with fewer locations and
Just one room.
Yeah,
And
really,
maybe
we should contained thriller, like a man trapped in a
room.
box.
Yeah.
Or, that one Buried. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Ryan
That's
Reynolds.
quite a good sort of thing. Not
Yeah.
comedy, but
Yeah. Wasn't very funny, but.
yeah.
And Sean Foley directed it, and
Yes.
he's a theatre director.
He's a theatre guy, yeah. So he was, he hadn't directed anything before. Didn't even own I think he hadn't seen a camera before. But he was, he was sort of into the theatre thing, and we came from that sort of world, and he did, and we sort of knew his work in that world. And it was strangely, he was sort of, because he was directing these shows in the West End that were doing quite well at the time, and the people who were wanting to give money to the film thought, oh, this will be great. He's got this sort of, he knows his comedy, and he knows, and he was saying, oh, we can rehearse it like a play, which is a bit unusual in film.
So
Maybe to have time to rehearse at least, but so we did that. We got the whole thing up on its feet a bit before we filmed it, which was useful.
Yeah.
I don't think that usually happens in film. So.
And in terms of celebrity cameos, there's
Yeah.
quite a few. Did you have a hit list of not people to kill, but people you wanted to be in the film? Was Kenneth Branagh sort of at the top, or was he like fourth?
Well, no, Ken was always at the top. Of every list. Because you've got to say that, haven't you? If they're in the film, you can't
You can't say you were fifth.
We really wanted
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah. It's really great that you showed up. Thank you.
Thanks for just turning up.
No, he's great. He's really funny and nice, and he's good. He's a mate of Sean's actually. That's how that kind of came about, really, because I didn't know him.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of the film, about it being about TV and actors and things, you can sort of legitimately get away with sort of having a few people in there like that, rather than just looking like you're trying to load it with some friends. Although that's what we were doing. Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah.
Because that's when you start making a film, that starts to become part of the process as well. It's like, well, we need to get some people who people know.
Yeah.
You're not actually that well known enough.
But Simon Callow.
People like that. You need a few faces around and about or
of
something.
Course.
But we kind of found that, like Steve Coogan, I always worked with him. Well, I think I've actually worked with him. Actually, no. Don't know who he is. Never met him. No, but I've worked. Okay. Back off. I've worked with him before, but his company produced the Boosh, so he's always been in the area that I've worked in. So, but he's instrumental in getting stuff made that I've made.
Yeah.
From the Boosh and onwards. So he's always, and then he came involved in the Mindhorn as well, and then he never actually played a part in, because he always wanted to play a part in the Boosh, but there was never a part of it.
For him?
Well, I don't know, it sort of didn't work out timing-wise, but he wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
I could play a weird character. That's what he was saying. I could be like a fox or something. Yeah. So we would go, yeah, maybe. No, it would have been great, but it didn't work out. But he did do something in this, which was really good,
So did you write the part especially for him? Or
yeah, we wanted a person who was a bit more of a shit. And more of a... so you could see the levels of... Because I always think, like with Richard, the character I play, I always think that you're only ever a few sort of bad decisions away from being, like in that situation. Everyone's capable of getting to that place.
Yeah.
And some here tonight probably are further than that. Who knows? I mean, we've all sort of... It's quite easy in the business, in show business as well, to become really sort of desperate and bitter.
Yeah.
It's really quite easy.
So it's quite an unvain part you were playing, really.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I shaved my head, for real.
Yeah.
But I realised I didn't need to do that. Because I had a wig on through the whole film. But I was actually thinking, no, I'm going to really shave it. But there's only about one scene where it would have been noticeable. And it wouldn't even been noticeable then. Ball caps are so good now, you didn't need to do it at all.
But, I mean, everyone watching probably got that he shaved his head and appreciated that, I'm sure.
I hope so. It just meant I had to wander around in life looking like a sort of weird Czechoslovakian clown. Quite long hair at the side and bald on top, and a really strange... people were actually seeing... I started wearing a hat, of course, but when I didn't have a hat on, people that approached me could see they had this look of like, oh my God, he's got something. Disease. So they wouldn't mention anything about the fact that I was totally bald on top with long bits at the side.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look like a normal balding head. It looked like I'd had a procedure of some sort. Like a lobotomy or something.
So I'm sure everyone has a lot of questions for you.
Right.
So we've got 2 roving mics. So if you put up your hand if you want to ask a question, and then wait until the microphone gets to you.
Just not this guy.
Yeah, this guy looks...
He's the only one I won't answer anything from him, but everyone else, fine.
So I feel like I'm going to go to that guy first.
Okay,
I feel like he really got in there. It better be a good question. It's all right, okay. If you could pass the mics down.
That's fine.
My parents were inspired by a film back in the 70s, which was Kestrel for a Knave.
Oh, yeah.
So they named me Kess.
Right.
And I'm just wondering what the inspiration was behind
Kestrel.
This nutcase being called Kestrel.
Yeah, the inspiration, I don't know really. I mean, he was called various other things along the way, I think. I don't know, yeah, maybe there's a vague sort of bit of that, like a naive boy who was, yeah. I don't know really, I think we just wanted him to squawk down the phone. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't think... that was sort of it, really, the Kestrel, yeah. Well, we knew he had to have a code name, he had to have this sort of name. We wanted it to sort of be part of the universe of the Mindhorn show, so he was Kestrel 1, or, like, he would have a nickname, and it was... the idea really was that he'd sort of joined the fan club and got a little pack. Is this in the film? It's probably not, actually. It was a backstory. So as a kid, he'd got the pack which said, "You are now part of the Mindhorn team. Reconnaissance mission. See if anyone's behaving badly and report back." And it was like, so he was part, so he thought, and he so that's what he ran with that, and became the person that you know. So I'm just going to peter out.
Thank you.
That must have been quite a fun part of the film, making all the various accessories to go inside the Mindhorn universe, because you've got the recording belt and you've got the toy.
Yeah. Yep.
That must have been a fun.
Yeah, it was good. No, it was great, all that stuff. Yeah, it was really good fun.
Kind of building the world.
That's a bit like being like 10 again, yeah, so
Yeah.
that stuff. So you get really quite sort of like obsessed with it all, yeah, and doing that. Because I did have all those stuff, those things when I was little. I had the not Mindhorn, the $6 Million Man doll. Anyone else have that?
This guy.
Anyone? No one else had that? Just you did, yeah. The bits, yeah. He took a sort of chip out of his arm. Everything was further away. Which is weird, isn't it? Yeah. And then he had an arm on the back. He pressed the thing on the back of his, and his arm went up, sort of ratcheted it up bit by bit like that, so you could lift up. Oh yeah. I didn't have a capsule.
Did you bury him or?
Not a casket.
Oh, okay.
Like
It's over.
capsule, like a space capsule.
Like a time capsule.
Because he went into space. That's how he got damaged. But yeah, yeah. So I can't remember what I was talking about, but I was obsessed with all those little things, those little bits of merchandise, I suppose, early kind of merchandise before it became a massive industry. So no, it's quite fun thinking about bad merchandise.
Yeah.
That would have been like there's something in the film about it's been taken off the market because it nearly blinded someone in Whitby.
Yeah.
We were trying to think about that. Is that too? Because at one point we were talking about it blinded some people, and then there were some notes came back going that's a bit too harsh. Can't say that. So we went, well, what about nearly blinded some people? And we went, what about nearly blinded some people in Whitby? Yeah, it's fine. Sort of, it's funny then.
Okay, so next question. Oh, that gentleman there. Any mics near him? So a lot of people in the middle asking questions. Anyone at the end could ask questions.
Right, as possibly the only human being alive who can answer this question, I have to ask it. Which do you think would be worse, or who do you think would be worse to be captured by, the Kestrel or old Greg?
Well, yeah, I mean, old Greg. He's a bit of a sort of sexual predator. And the Kestrel's very innocent, you know. There was not, there's nothing sort of dark. He's sort of everything dark about him is put on him from other people, in a way. It got a bit real then, didn't it? Sorry. No, but he's basically just exploited. But old Greg was just a vicious predator. His inspiration for him was the guy out of, I don't know if you know Dirty Harry, the film Dirty Harry. There's the killer in that, Scorpio. It's just really brilliant character, but very, very obviously frightening. But we thought, that was the inspiration for that character.
Okay, he's got a question. Oh, gentleman over there. Oh. Is that being passed to that gentleman?
Is it my turn? Oh. Were there any deleted scenes to the film? And if there was one that you would like to put in the film, what deleted scene would that be?
It's a really good question. I don't actually. Deleted. There was loads of deleted scenes. Yeah, I mean, it was really long when we first finished the edit, so there was tons of. I mean, it's funny, they're called deleted scenes, but they're really just stuff that was not very good. Yeah, there's quite a lot of deleted scenes. That makes it sound like there's these really great, amazing sort of gems that. I think most of the stuff that cut out was quite bad. So it's sort of when you first see the edit, you just want to shoot yourself. and then you spend time trying to get rid of just stuff that makes it look awful and trying, But I mean, there was Not really, actually. I'm trying to think. No, 'cause most of it, I don't think really.
Did it change a lot
Spectacular.
in the kind of developing it process in the edit in terms of structure and things?
Yeah, the edit did, yeah. But like, really wanted to record the song, the song he did, You Can't Handcuff the Wind. But we didn't, the sort of schedule and everything went wrong, and we couldn't get that. And that was the one thing I wish we'd had done. Anyway, I've since done a music video for that, so that's going to be happening soon, which I was really excited about. But we had to do it after, which was annoying because I wanted it to be in the film. But so that was yeah. But actually, we had the idea a bit too late in a way. Sometimes you have these ideas and it's just too late, or you just started production, and when you mention a new idea, you can see everyone just going,
Oh no!
"You just better shut your mouth." There's this look of horror going over people's and you sort of, because when you're sort of trying to write these things, you always it's like you're in this period of time where you're having loads of ideas. What if he came he was dressed as a, and you just have these ideas all about thinking and blue sky thinking.
Yeah.
So, but then when you get into production, and if you still have those conversations, they're so bogged down in work.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything that you said right, and then if you bring out a new idea, they just really sort of, you can see them just go pale, thinking, I've got so much stuff I've got to do, and please
Gotta
don't give
change
me
the
any
spreadsheet.
new ideas.
Yeah.
No, I can't do this. I'm already got enough. So, yeah, some things you have to sort of just
Let
you
go.
can't do. Yeah, let go of once the thing's up and running.
Was it true that Mindhorn, it wasn't originally going to be an eye? You had some different bionic parts.
Yeah, yeah. The bionic Bergerac was what we were wanting to be like Bergerac, but bionic, because it was like a poor man's $6 million man,
Yeah.
like a £600 man. So, because we wanted him to, well, initially we were thinking, could he have a nose that smelled the truth? So he's going to have like a cybernetic nose.
Yeah.
But then that was more. We sort of thought that even that wouldn't get made, even in reality. So we wanted it to something that could conceivably have been made back in the day. So it could be believable, really.
Yeah.
So
rather than a.
yeah, but it really could have been anything. It could have been a show, because he could have been, Melly could have been obsessed with any show,
Yeah.
about any. It could have been a superhero or a, could have been a, supernatural show or anything, So the kind of, but we wanted to parody that particular kind of a British version of sort of Knight Rider Bergerac, with not Bergerac, sort of a slight sci-fi element
Yeah.
to it. But,
Have you heard what John Nettles thinks of it? Has he had any thoughts?
no, actually. I think he's going to be in. I think they'll make a series, and he's going to be Mindhorn. I don't know. I don't know if he knows anything about it. I don't know what he thinks actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know. But,
Yeah, we should know. We should find out.
unless it's not nice.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to hear about Nettles.
Has anyone else got any questions? Lady over there. Is there a microphone? Sorry. This. If you put up your hand, wave it around. Oh no, it's going to the back. Sorry.
What's the shoe thing all about?
Um,
Is there a backstory?
It's just acting technique. Is that you? It's actually in Stanislavski's The Actor Prepares. He does say, all the students go out to find bits of stuff to make their characters feel real, and one of them gets some shoes, and that's where he finds the character, and so the whole idea, we wanted Richard to say, there was one of the scenes that didn't end up in it, which I was annoyed about. That was it. Yeah, the one was that he had a speech where he was doing an advert for, I think it was for Thromby socks, so that's in there. But he was saying that he said, he says he's doing the advert, and then he goes, cut! I need my I need the espadrilles, and they go, we're on a mid shot, we can't see below your knees, Richard. So he goes, my character doesn't stop at the knees. I know. This is why I wanted it in the film. It's annoying because it's. I know. I'm glad you laughed at it, but
This is just upsetting now.
and
you
now
realise.
it's upsetting. Yeah, because it's like my character goes down to the ground and roots me, and then comes back up and resonates. But so it's more. It was sort of taking the piss out of actors a bit. Although when I was on set, I did. At one point, I was doing a shot, and I had different shoes on. I had my trainers on because I wear like trainers, and. And I didn't, and they were going, right, we're ready to go. And I went, no, can I get the shoes, please? Can I get the shoes? Because I really, and I went, oh my God, I've become Richard. But you feel like in front of a camera, and there's loads of people staring at you, and the crew are all going, what, here we go. Try and do something funny now. And you're just going up. You need little talismans. You need little sort of things that you can keep with you. So sometimes it's like the shoe, or the teeth for me was that having the teeth.
They look like veneers almost.
They were made, molded to my teeth, and then they go in, so they just fit quite snugly. Yeah. But you can sort of go about the place, and they feel kind of normal, but they just give you that sort of
Hollywood.
Yeah, or they give you they look a bit goofy for me. I look a bit sort of I felt funnier in them. Yeah. And that sometimes you just need a little thing like that, like the wig, or I mean,
to sort of
get
put
the
you in
outfit. Yeah, because it's like tight trousers are funny. Baggy trousers not. I suppose Chaplin, but
yeah.
I felt like for my particular shape is quite good with thin, because I've got quite thin legs. So if you have thin trousers, then it's sort of quite top heavy. Sort of fun. It's just I find funnier in those sort of things. Just silly little things like that,
Sort of to switch you into character.
Get you into character, yeah.
Yeah. There was this lady here has a question. Who's got the microphone?
Hi. Sorry, it's a bit of a geeky question, but there's a character in called Bruno Mindhorn in the radio series for the Mighty Boosh, and I was wondering if they had any connection.
Well, I mean, they were. That was the inspiration for the name. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't intending to put you down there. I mean, actually, because Ollie Ralph, who wrote the song Bruno Mindhorn, he sort of wrote a weird sort of poem about a sort of surrealist poem, and that was the name. But Simon was just listening to Simon Farnaby, who co-wrote it. Was like he was listening to this music, and it was called Mind. And we had this idea about the film, and then he thought Mindhorn sounded like a detective. So then we said to Ollie, we're going to use this name. Are you all right with that? And so he said, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's related to it by that. Yeah.
It's a good name.
It does sound like that. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. Oh, just gentleman down the end. It's anarchy.
I'll steal it if I can. The Isle of Man, was that a predefined thing when you kind of went into writing it, that you were thinking of setting it in that location, or did it kind of emerge at a later date?
Yeah, I mean, we started off with Guernsey as the main sort of idea, because we wanted to do we wanted to be an island so that he could get trapped on it somehow. So then we thought, well, Bergerac was Jersey, so why don't we do Guernsey? And then we sort of wrote it with Guernsey in mind initially. But then we were constantly trying to. We had this sort of idea about this temperate microclimate that we wanted to have the show. We had this idea we liked, which was that Mindhorn was a show. It was filmed on an island, but it was sort of co-funded by the sort of tourist board of the island, so that they had to, in every episode, they had to go on about the temperate microclimate. So we had some scene. I don't know if the scene is in there with Coogan. That was quite a good scene as well. But where I'm talking to a pathologist. It's like a bit like Quincy sort of moment, and I'm sort of going. He's sort of the body's completely decomposed, and I go, well, that'd be the temperate microclimate. I don't know if that's in there, but it probably isn't. Another one that's not in there. So there's the other scene that should have gone in.
This is a real exclusive. We're just getting all the deleted scenes.
But we're sort of obsessed with the idea that they had to sort of big up their location in every episode. So, but Isle of Man, it was simply just it was tax. They give you money, or you don't pay as much tax if you film there at the time. Maybe it's not like that now. So that's why a lot of films went there to film. So we thought, okay, someone said, Isle of Man have this incentive to film there. So we thought, okay, well, let's have a look. I don't know anything about the Isle of Man. So then we started looking into it, and it was like this weird, trapped in time sort of place, a bit like used to be something big and now sort of gone to seed, a bit like Richard. So we thought, oh, this is perfect. You know, it's a metaphor for the character.
Did you do research trips there?
No. Yeah, I tripped to the trip on the computer. And I went
Wikipedia'd it.
Google
Yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, just explored
Yeah.
it.
And I went on a big trip down Google Earth.
Right.
Took a packed lunch. Actually, Simon and Sean went there, and the director and the recce went on a recce, you know, to find the locations and stuff, and came back with loads of footage and shots. So that was good, you know.
Yeah.
So they did go there. I didn't go there.
And how was it shooting there? How long was the shoot? Was it quite?
It was about 6 weeks or 7 weeks, but there was only 2 or 3 weeks in Isle of Man, and the rest was in and around London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a relatively easy shoot?
I've never made a film before, like to that
So,
extent.
yeah.
But I mean, in every scene. So it was sort of. I really enjoyed it. I think it was just the end point of a long process of writing. So it was sort of like a slightly giddy state of finally having to do this thing, you know. And so yeah, I kind of it was. I enjoyed it actually. Enjoyed the shoot.
And was there any points when you started writing it and developing it that it looked like it might not be made, or was it kind of just always continuously?
Oh yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
It was like not going to happen, and it's hard. One of those things because you've been doing it for so long, it becomes more and more. You feel more and more sort of the idea that it won't happen becomes worse and worse somehow because it's like I've just wasted so much time wasted on this, you know. Now if it doesn't happen, and it just gets more and more of a. I don't know. It's hard to. Well, it's in a way. It's like an idea. If you're going to make it, I mean, you should have made it quicker and maybe earlier on. Maybe that's the best way to make stuff. But we kind of hung on to this concept, which needed a bit of time to get money together. We didn't really understand that aspect of it.
Yeah.
We just thought if it's a good idea, surely we'll just get made.
Yeah.
But no, it's a long kind of thing of attaching
meetings.
people and this, and people have to have a certain, for people to put money in.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not going to do it unless you've got a certain cast and a certain window opens, and then the money becomes available.
Yeah.
So quite sort of annoying, that process. But it's sort of I suppose the reality of filmmaking. I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of kind of making your next film, has it made you feel like you'd approach it slightly differently?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do something a lot simpler.
Yeah. A room or a box.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and probably direct it myself and just do it like very simple and try and do that. I think, but just more films and less money and quicker. Because otherwise, I'll make maybe one more and then be dead.
Yeah.
At this rate.
Okay, so I think we've got time for one more question. This lady at the front with the red top on.
Hi.
Hi.
Loved it. Loved the
thanks.
film.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love all your work, but I'm sure I'm not alone. So just... No, I'm not alone. It's just following on from that last point, really.
Yeah.
Have you got any more? Are you writing for anything else?
No.
Have you got any other films lined up?
No more ideas.
That's a shame.
Nothing else. That's it. I'm a spent force.
Please do some more.
No, yeah. All right. Okay.
I'm not going to leave here tonight. I'll let you leave until
yes,
you promise.
I have a few things, trying to do. But mainly I'm trying to write music for the character at the moment. So I'm writing a lot of tunes that Richard... I've got this idea of him having a career in music that went really badly wrong. But he went and had a bit of success, but then he off the show, and then he did this sort of album, and I'm trying to write this really sort of misguided album that was like maybe with some Italian producer, and there was maybe some drugs involved or alcoholism or something, and it's just this really. I want to try and create this sort of weird album that he made. So I've made a music video for one track, and so I'm doing that. So it's like a kind of separate kind of side project or something. I don't know whether, but it'll come to anything. But that's
it's a nice continuation of
the
the
I quite
world,
like
though.
that. Yeah, it's quite fun to have a character to write music for. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff that me and Simon were talking about maybe doing more with it. But that sort of depends on how it goes and whether people respond well. And otherwise, you don't want to be a bit presumptuous to sort of write a sequel. And and then people are like, we're not really interested. So keep your sequel. Thank you. But there's sort of it's sort of, I have other things I'd like to do, not comedy necessarily. But what? A comic book. Yeah, like the old annuals you get for like Grange Hill. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, with this definitely. Yeah. Oh, there's certainly a sort of merchandise. There's a merchandise goldmine here, if we could. But it's all about it's sort of if it does okay or not, So you don't want to be stuck there with a garage full of annuals. Here's the annuals are all ready to go.
Okay, so we've run out of time, but thank you very much for being here, Julian. It's a brilliant film, and I'm sure everyone can attest to that.
Thanks.